I think your speaker may have any problem.
Just a minute, madam.
Okay. Sir Brahmaji, could you hear us? We couldn't hear you. Please write in the chat box.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. This is Alex.
Good morning, all of you.
Yeah. Good morning, Brahmaji. We could hear you.
Okay, warm welcome to all the participants for the 11th
Yes.
International Conference on Sustainable Waste Management. I am very happy to be a co-chair for this session. The prominent speakers from South Asia, and at the same time, they are delivering an excellent presentation in this session. Now I am inviting everyone, and as per the instructions given by the madam, everyone, those who have the questions or queries, you can be keep in a chat box and afterwards answer the presenters. Now I request who is the first participant, madam, you can call me one by one.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Brahmaji. I would
Yes.
like to welcome our first speaker, Mr. Mashidur Rahman from Dhaka, Bangladesh, and the topic is environmental friendly fish production and wastewater management in urban and peri-urban areas of Bangladesh, prospect and challenges. Sir, are you there? I think first presenter is not present yet. So we can moving on to second presenter. So our next presenter is Mr. Nur-E-Jannat Pollen, SM Moniruzzaman from Khulna, Bangladesh, and the topic is comparative assessment of facial sludge treatment plants in Bangladesh using SWOT analysis. Sir, please unmute your microphone and your presentation time is 12 minutes. Mr. Nur-E-Jannat Pollen, the floor is...
Thank you. I am here.
Yes, madam. You can share your presentation.
Okay.
Yeah, it's feasible. Yeah, make it visible. Yeah, madam, you can start your presentation.
Welcome to my presentation on assessment of two fecal sludge treatment plants in Bangladesh using SWOT analysis. I am Nur-E-Jannat Pollen, and this research is supervised by Professor Dr. SM Moniruzzaman. Many developing countries are moving towards increased sanitation technologies. The issue of safe handling of sludge has emerged as an important and challenging issue of concern. On-site sanitation technologies like septic tank, ventilated improved pit latrines, etc. represent only one component in a comprehensive fecal sludge management system. These also should have fecal sludge collection and transport, a treatment plant, resource recovery or disposal of the treated end products. The major contributors of environment pollution are excreta, grey water, and solid waste, which also create risk to public health. Interest and awareness for fecal sludge management issue is increasing worldwide, especially in Africa and Asia. Fecal sludge must be treated to prevent the transmission of fecal-borne diseases and to reduce the risk of environmental contamination. In this research, a SWOT analysis is approaches to the fecal sludge treatment plant of Bangladesh to understand about both the external and internal condition. It will help to understand the current fecal sludge treatment on which effective measures can be presented for improvement. Here are the objectives. The first objective is to identify the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats of the two fecal sludge treatment plants. And the second objective is to analyze quantification and characterization of fecal sludge of the two treatment plants. Here are the study areas of my research. The first site is FSTP of Rajbat to Khulna, which is located from 2 kilometers far away from 0 point of Khulna City Corporation. Its land area is 1.3 acres and treatment technologies are constructed wetland and unplanted drying bed. There are some pictures. And the second site is situated in Tangail, a co-composting fecal sludge treatment plant which can treat 1,200 tons fecal sludge and produce 24 tons compost per year. It managed around 43% of the town's sludge. There are some pictures. And here is the methodology of my research. But at first, I have done literature review, research, and data collection. For secondary data collection, various sources are taken into consideration. For quantitative and qualitative data, information was collected from fecal sludge treatment plant authority and Khulna City Corporation, Shokipur municipality. In order to get the clear understanding of the fecal sludge treatment system, detailed field survey of fecal sludge treatment plant at Khulna and Tangail was conducted. For laboratory tests to find the characteristics of fecal sludge, different laboratory test was done, such as temperature, pH, total coliform, fecal coliform, BOD, COD, nitrate, ammonia, phosphate, total solid, total suspended solid, etc. 3 types of assessment was done to fulfill the objectives like technical assessment, economical assessment, and environmental assessment. Technical assessment is to understand the current condition of the operation and maintenance of the fecal sludge treatment plant, its technical maturity, program status, and technical risk by comparing assessment results. Economical assessment is to allocate the efficiency and comparing the cost and benefits in order to evaluate its capabilities to run the project. Environmental assessment is to identify the impacts of the project and ways to mitigate the relevant negative effects. SWOT analysis is done for methodology to understand the strategic planning. SWOT analysis was applied in this study for analyzing the current internal and external environmental issue concerning the authorities of the two fecal sludge treatment plants. Sorry. After analyzing strength, opportunity, weakness, opportunity, strength, threat, weakness, threat strategies were specified at the end. A framework of 2x2 matrix was practiced to determine the strategic goals of the fecal sludge treatment plants. It will help to recognize the main weakness, potential threats, and explore the opportunities and strength. Here are the results and discussion. Khulna fecal sludge treatment plant adopts constructed wetland and drying bed system. There are 6 planted drying bed and 6 unplanted drying bed for removal of chemical pollutants, solid particle, and microbial elements. A horizontal floor constructed wetland followed by a vertical flow constructed wetland is for leachate treatment. Recently, there is a practice of resource recovery by Khulna City Corporation. They are trying to make cost-effective briquette with dried sludge. At Chokipur Tangail fecal sludge treatment plant, this consists of 10 unplanted drying bed, settling tank, constructed wetland, and a polishing pond is for leachate treatment. A co-composting plant is constructed where dried sludge is co-composted with organic waste. The capital cost of implementation of Khulna Ficus treatment plant was around 19.87 million BDT and Tangail FSTP was around 11.4 million BDT. The capital operation cost of Khulna Ficus treatment plant is around 7,000 USD per year and Tangail Ficus treatment plant is 20,000 USD per year. But there are some profits. Khulna Ficus treatment plant make profit around 2,000 USD per year and Tangail Ficus treatment plant make 36,000 USD per year. In this study, each ficus treatment plant maintained the fecal waste water or effluent properly. Odor is almost zero for each ficus treatment plant, but there are some odor caused by the solid waste landfill beside the FSTP. Workers maintain high safety in emptying, transport, treatment, and disposal issue. This study reveals that the number of fecal coliform is below 200 number per 100 milliliter in the finally treated effluent, which is within the allowable limit. From the environmental aspects, BOD ranges from 10 to 110 milligram per liter. This is also in allowable limit, which is 40 milligram per liter. Total solid and total suspended solid concentration are also within the allowable limit. After the assessment, SWOT analysis is done for site 1. We can see there is some strength like environmental safe location, low operation and maintenance cost, low investment, but there are some weakness too, like inadequate supply of fecal sludge, inadequate number of vacuum, high cost, skill gap. For site 2, there the strength is environmentally safe location, strict control of odor, facilities for waste processing. But there are some weakness too, like small capacity of storage of fecal sludge, only one vacuum for transportation, limited human resource. The opportunities of Site 1 Khulna Ficus treatment plant are production of briquette, new demand, governmental and INGO funding. There are some threats like health problem, limited occupied areas, mixture of unwanted particles. For Site 2, the opportunities are production of new compost, new demand, increase of public demand, but there are some threats like heavy growth of plants in constructed wetland. After the SWOT analysis, strategies for successful development of ficus treatment plant is drawn there. Proper site selection for maximum reduction of environmental impact and transportation advantage are both strengths and opportunities for the ficus treatment plant. But cracking
Excuse
of
me, madam, you have only 2 minutes.
okay, ma'am. But crack of drying bed, relationship with the consumer and organization are the weakness here, which can be converted into opportunities. There are some strengths which can be converted into threats in future, like founding working groups. The weakness and threats are there, like health problem and hygiene risk. At the conclusion,
Conclude yourself. Okay.
At the conclusion, Khulna Ficus treatment plant is still trying to reach local market, while Shokhipur Ficus treatment plant already started selling co-compost. This is both opportunity and strength for this two Ficus treatment plant. The operating cost of Shokhipur is more than higher, double than Khulna Ficus treatment plant. Khulna Ficus treatment plant has high storage and treatment capacity than Shokhipur Ficus treatment plant. Clogging is common problem in the Ficus treatment plant. Khulna Ficus treatment plant can treat 20% of total generated fecal sludge of Khulna city, while Shokhipur can treat 43% of the total generated fecal sludge of Tangail. Innovative business opportunities such as co-composting fuel is possible from this fecal treatment plant, which will improve the sanitation sector. Thanks to all.
Thank you, madam, for your wonderful presentation. Kindly mute your microphone and kindly answer. So now I would request Mr. M.V. Cherry from Hyderabad. Are you there, Mr. M.V. Cherry? I think he is not there. And next speaker, Mr. Pradeep Kumar Khandelwal. Are you there? Mr. Pradeep Kumar Khandelwal? No, he is also not there. So our next presenter, Mr. Mohammad Naimul Bari, and his topic is rural solid waste management practice and its governance in Bangladesh. Sir, please unmute your microphone and your presentation time is 12 minutes. Kindly share your screen, sir. Mr. Mohammad Bari? Yeah, thank you. It's visible. Yeah. Please make it full screen. You are not audible, Mr. Bari. Kindly unmute your microphone. Hello? It was visible, but now we cannot see the presentation. If you face any problem in technical difficulty, you can write down in chat box.
Roy Chaudhary, your presentation is not seen. You can share your presentation.
Yeah.
Roy Chaudhary, it is difficult to you. You can skip and afterwards you can present. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, so can we move to next presenter, Dr. Brahmaji?
Yes. Because you can give the chat box information.
So we are moving to next presenter, Mr. Madhushani M.K.Ranasinghe, ASYP Karanungarantha from Sri Lanka, and the topic is quantitative assessment of microplastics in municipal and agricultural waste compost. Sir, please unmute your microphone and your presentation time is 12 minutes.
Yes, good morning, madam. Can you hear me?
Yes, good morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me share
absolutely
my
audible.
screen.
Yeah. Please
Share your
the
screen. Yes.
Yeah.
It is visible?
Yes, sir. Perfect. You can start.
Yes. Yeah. Good morning, sir. Good morning, madam and ladies and gentlemen. We are from the Sri Lanka. Our topic is assessment of an occurrence of type of microplastic in commercial compost. Behalf of my research team, I am ASYP Ranasinghe. I am the presenter here. When we move into the introduction part, sorry, please let me, screen is moving now. It's okay, sir.
Yeah, it's visible. Yeah.
Yeah, when we move to the introduction parts, in our country as in the world, compost is widely used soil amendment or maybe sometimes it's used as organic fertilizer. In our country, various kind of raw materials are used for produce compost fertilizer, mainly from the municipal solid waste and the agricultural origin plant or animal materials we are used for the produce compost fertilizer. in the quality standard in Sri Lanka and as in the world, we consider about the major plant nutrition, heavy metal, and plant and human pathology in the compost fertilizer. But we can see that with the time, sometimes microplastic are contaminated with the compost fertilizer. Especially we use municipal solid waste for the preparing compost. Microplastic will be contaminated. So this we are do this research to identify and distribution of microplastic in the compost. When we consider microplastic, it is a range from less than 5 millimeter up to the 0.1 micrometer plastic particles we call microplastics. The objective is the occurrence, identify and determine the occurrence and distribution of the microplastic in commercial available in the commercial compost in Sri Lanka. The methodology usually we select the 4 compost facilities. They produce commercial level compost fertilizer. They are represented as solid waste and also in the agricultural waste for produce their compost fertilizer. So we first we prepare the sample in our remove the moisture by the oven dried and the take 100 grams of compost sample for the further analysis. We in here we doing the physical separation in microplastic by the numbers of series of sieve, we sieve and each and every sieve we count the available microplastic, not in the count, we weight and the we identify the type of the microplastic. This done in the laboratory by using the magnifier. When we move to the our result, occurrence of microplastic in a commercial compost, when we take a mean value or average value, in we can see in there is a various distribution within the facilities, but we consider most of microplastic available in the municipal council or solid waste material they use for produce compost. In the agriculture waste compost facility, they represent a less amount of microplastic. When we categorize they as a soft and hard plastic type in the compost, most of the time we have seen the soft thin microplastic particles are available in the compost. Hard particles are in a very less amount. In the agricultural waste compost, there is no any hard microplastic particles. When we count the number of the microplastic in the compost sample, we can see in the same result as when we consider about the weight basis. Soft microplastic particles are very high in the municipal solid waste compost and the less amount in agriculture waste compost. Also, in the hard particles number count is very less in the compared to the soft microplastic particles. With that, I'm moving to the conclusion parts. Microplastics are occurring in the compost sample that are used for the experiments. It means that the in the compost we can see microplastic. It may be the very bad effect to the our agricultural field. When we move microplastic for the agricultural field, it will contaminate the groundwater, maybe plant or maybe soil, and the microplastic will be microplastic contain various kind of toxic chemical, maybe a heavy metal, maybe a persistent organic pollution or other pollution. They may be a persistent. They are back for the human being. So municipal solid waste compost sample contain higher concentration of microplastic compared to the agriculture waste compost sample. And there is a higher number of plastic in the observed compost than the hard plastic. So when we preparing compost from the municipal solid waste, we want to address the remove all polythene or plastic material from the inputs materials. So we recommend that microplastic study should be conducted to evaluate microplastic in small size fractation, and we already now continue this study to cover all around our country to identify and take more accurate knowledge on the available and distribution of microplastic in the compost fertilizer. With this, I will conclude my presentation. Thank you very much. I will take this opportunity to thank the organizing committee of the 11th ICON Solid Waste Management and ECN IPLA Global Forum, and I will thanks for the Dr. Anuruddha Karnanand from University of Peradeniya, Sri Lanka. He always encouraged to participate for the this global forum. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir, very much.
Thank
Again.
you, Ranaka. Thank you for your good presentation. Now call the next presenter. Be ready.
Yeah, I would like to call Himanshu Kumar from India. His topic of presentation is technologies for the chemical recycling of the household plastics. So kindly unmute your microphone and turn on your camera. And your presentation time is 12 minutes. Himanshu sir, are you there?
I am there. I am here.
Okay.
This is Anand.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Himanshu sir is there? Okay, I think Himanshu sir is not there. I would like to call our next speaker, Mr. Alex from Philippines. His topic of presentation is Tinder Mac Solid Hazardous Waste Pyrolytic Classification Technology. Sir, are you there? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see.
I'll share my, give me a time, I'll share my presentation.
Yeah, you kindly share your presentation, sir. Your presentation time is 12 minutes.
Yes, welcome, Alex.
Yeah, good morning. Oh,
Yeah, good morning.
do you see my presentation now? It's okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Your screen is visible, sir. Please
Okay.
continue.
Yeah. Good morning to all of you there in India. Good afternoon here in the Philippines. And good evening for some other countries joining this activity. And a pleasant day to all of us. As we are gathered today on this Hazardous Waste Conference, no more than ever we have seen the intensified effects of the different environmental issues. More importantly and alarming are the impacts of climate change. With the whole of this time, or with the whole of the time, we had to find a solution that adapts to the current situation and circumstances. There's no doubt that we are living in a fast-paced world ever since. The industrialization revolution, this comes hand in hand with how we use we got given resources. We are not unlimited. We are not unlimited for our use. The word innovation has been repeated many times in the past decade. They have unceasingly changed how we live on our day-to-day lives. And take, for example, the smartphone, laptops, and so other technology that we use today. The technological advances in the commercial side, which has further improved our methods of becoming more effective and fluent as businesses. But we must remember that the innovation is not limited to just improving our lives and making companies richer, business goals and easier and faster. Innovation is also needed in the how we become steward of our natural resources and our environment. We see to it that our environment management system also adapt and stand along with a fast-changing world. Otherwise, we will come up to the point of where environmental issues become too large to handle and a problematic one. Today, I will present to you one of the innovations that aims to address the current environmental issues that we face on our waste management. Our ever-changing consumer behavior that have led us to consume more and in turn render more trash. The current practice of managing our trash today gets behind demand, and in no time we will be scrambling to a way to dispose our waste. Today, I will introduce to you the tender MAC, which is pyro thermal process to address one of the best option to address our burgeoning waste, especially this COVID pandemic time. Sorry. Tender MAC classification technology is a pyrolytic heating machine that qualify as non-burn technology, uses biomass as primary heating fuel, aided with liquefied petroleum gas or the LPG, and gaseous afterburner to further burn the flue gas coming from the feedstock. Therefore, consuming soot and particulate matter render the fully heated flue gas smokeless. The high heat flue gas is used to heat the boiler in order to produce steam that runs the turbine generator that produce electricity. Pyrolytic process is a type of high heating which is obtained as physicochemical change on the waste material under intense heat in the absence of air. It is customary knowledge that burning is only possible with the presence of fuel and air, the reason why it is also called oxidation or fanning the flame. Flame is closely associated with fire and the generation of smoke, which result in the reduction of materials into residual and lighters fly ash. In the case of pyrolysis, waste materials are treated inside a closed vessel under fire from outside. The dried waste materials further smolders like roasting red coal and become char. Moisture content, water or solid, becomes steam or syngas that when collected in the condenser, converted back to water, or in the case of solid as residue. The advantage of pyrolytic process is that gas emission to the atmosphere is almost nil because the purpose of the process is to recover the heat into kinetic energy through the syngas and heat. Pyrolytic gasification is a non-incineration technology, continuous processing system. It can achieve disinfection or carbonization of waste, all odor free after treatment, and treated waste are discharged and recognizable and fully disinfected. It is also an ultimate machine for safe treatment and disposal method of COVID-19 waste, biohazard medical waste, and industrial waste using advanced pyrolytic gasification technology. It incorporates advantage and benefits of waste to energy and refuse dried fuel, while at the same time functioning as treatment, storage, and disposal facility, following the protocols and standard of the Environmental Management Bureau and the Department of Energy as well. Tender MAC is also capable to recover fuel from waste plastic, oily sludge, and waste oil. The fumes are collected and condensed to become liquid fuel. With some blending, it can be directly used as fuel for a specific quality utilization requirements for cars, boilers, motorcycles, and boilers, etc. Filthy sites of overbringing plastic waste in our waterways, rivers, ocean, dump sites, and landfills can be a thing of the past. However, the process is expected to generate dioxin and furans during the decomposition. Many consider as carcinogen, and too much carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide, and many some heavy metals to the atmosphere. Eventually, reacting with atmospheric precipitation to convert into carbonic acid, nitric acid, and sulfuric acid, respectively, returning to Earth as generic, what we call it the acid rain. In able to eliminate air pollution, Tendermac is equipped with Venturi wet scrubber coupled to Infant's jetpack tower trickling filter prior to the activated carbon filters. It is incorporated in the system to treat exit air to achieve emission quality compliant with RA 8749 or the Clean Air Act in the Philippines. Wastewater or spent liquor will be treated in plate clarification system. Treated water is reused in the air pollution control device in closed loop cycle without effluent or wastewater discharge. As waste is fed into the chamber of the equipment, an initial start ignition is to be done with burners using liquefied petroleum gas or the LPG. The output discharge is approximately 20% concentrated recycled ash, or an impressive 80% waste reduction that can get away with a huge sanitary landfill and conserves our land for more other beneficial use. Recyclable ash, organic ash, could be mixed for concrete pavement or concrete bricks and hollow blocks for fencing. The organic ash also could use as soil enhancer for vegetable farming and for gardening. The pyrolytic gasification process reduces landfilling requirement and minimizes the production of methane gas in the atmosphere that deplete the ozone layer, causing the climate change. The tender map could be also a component of the solid waste management facility. It is proudly and invented locally, manufactured in the Philippines in the partnership of Engineer Dakota Fernando of Asian Biocon and Enviroscientia, and the entrepreneur Mr. Buboy Urquipaje, and of course, our company, Uptech Environmental Management Corporation, as the marketing arm. There is a dire need to properly dispose of our burgeoning waste in our midst, that affecting the health of millions of people. Waste that mar our landscape, choking rivers, and polluting ocean. Together, let us join hand in hand in taking care of our environment by adopting new and advanced technology on the waste handling and processing. Let us save our Mother Earth. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Alex.
so much, sir, for your wonderful presentation. Kindly unshare your screen and mute your microphone.
I'm requesting all the once a minute, one minute. All the presenters, please keep wait. Is there any questions or queries in the chat box? You can ask at the time at the end. That's why I'm asking all the presenters, please stay on the WebEx. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
With the permission of chair and co-chair, we are moving on to next presenter. Our next presenter is Dr. Sutripta Sharma and Professor S.K. Ghosh from India. And the topic is food waste, food security and sustainability, a global and Indian perspective. Madam, please unmute your microphone and kindly start your presentation. Your presentation time is 12 minutes. Thank you. Professor,
Professor Brahmaji, I'm Sutripta.
Yeah.
I'll be presenting from the headquarters, sir. Okay, so
Yes, okay, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am.
A very good morning to all. I am Shuchipta Sharkar and will be presenting a talk on food waste, food security and sustainability from a global and Indian perspective. So food waste refers to the decrease in quantity and or quality of food resulting from decisions and actions by retailers, food service providers, and consumers. Food loss and waste refers to the decrease in mass or nutritional value. Mass is a quantitative factor and nutritional value, the quality of food, edible part, throughout the supply chain that was intended for human consumption. The Sustainable Development Goals, number 2 talks about zero hunger and number 12 is about responsible consumption and production. The key is to act responsibly on consumption and production of food and move towards food security. So this picture shows is from the Food Waste Index, the much talked about Food Waste Index report 2021, and it shows that a walloping 17% of the available food is wasted, and most of the amount of or the percentage of food waste is at the household level. So that is appalling data, definitely. And we can see that on the global scale, the worst 5 performing countries have countries like Nigeria and Rwanda. They have been featured here probably because there is a loss of food as compared to food waste. You know, food loss can be at any part of the supply chain. It may be at the producer's end also. And food waste is essentially at the retailers or the consumers' end. So this is shows that while 70% of all the food available at the consumer level is going waste, 690 million people are affected by hunger. So that is the very sad scenario that we have across the world now. Per capita waste generation is much higher in the developed countries or high income countries as compared to the low income countries. So the high income countries, the average food waste per kg per capita is maximum also at the household level. So a number of undernourished people, that also keeps on increasing, unfortunately. And COVID-19 has also indirectly impacted the food crisis, resulting in a sharp jump in the number of undernourished people. So this table shows the different phases of the supply chain where food can be wasted. So it can be at the harvesting and mishandling or hog harvesting. Okay, and sometimes during the harvesting season, if there is rain, or supposing the harvested material is still at the farm and there is some fire. So at the harvesting level, a lot of loss occurs. Drying and transportation, poor transport infrastructure also leads to a lot of loss of food material and food grains, and especially, you know, perishable items like vegetables. Storage is another important. Most of the low-income countries, they don't have proper storage or cold storage, sufficient cold storage to pile up or to store all the produce, and that can be taken out at a later time, increasing the longevity of the food. Then primary processing. Okay, in seasons, in India especially, we have seasons where some vegetables and some fruits are in abundance and they are available at a very low cost. Still, probably due to less demand and excess supply, a lot is lost. So food processing can be a method of conserving the food. However, when we are processing, so that also takes up a lot of carbon footprint. So packaging, proper labeling, sorry, I go back to that. Packaging, proper labeling at the marketing level, post-consumer level, buying more than what we need. So we now live in a consumerist society, and naturally there is a tendency, there is a lot of advertisement, and we are rushing to buy many things which we don't need. And same is with food also. Many things, much more than we need, we require. We buy it and we store it, and later, it goes out of date and we just discard it. So end of life disposal of food waste lost at different stages of supply. Food can be lost at different stages of supply, like food waste discarded, may be treated or fed to poultry stock, but many a times it's simply dumped. So the food items which are maximum wasted are, of course, fruits and vegetables, because they have limited life, shelf life, and they are lost very easily. And so is meat, poultry, fish, and seafood. Cereals, however, have a better life, and dairy products, since they can be processed easily, or they are processed. So that is why dairy products have a better longevity. Now we come to the Indian scenario, how much food India wastes. It's around 4 to 6% to 15.8%. The point is that though this 15.8%, it is less than the global average, India has a big population to cater to. And this 15.8%, it becomes a big amount when compared to feeding the big population we have. So the more we lose food at different stages of the supply chain, and also at the consumer end, the more we lose food, the farther we move away from food security. As we all know, that India has been ranked 94th in the Global Poverty Index. This is, however, the data of Government of India, NITI Aayog, and they are talking about multidimensionally poor people. And you can see that a very large population of area contains people who are multidimensionally poor. So a lot still needs to be done on the aspect of food security. Now coming to carbon footprint, this is a very interesting graph which I found in the Food and Agriculture Organization, in one of the Food and Agriculture Organization reports. It stated that had food waste been a country, it would have ranked third in greenhouse gas emission. So the amount of food that is being dumped, which would have been maybe because there is some lacuna in some stage of the supply chain, or maybe there is irresponsibility at the consumer end, that is leading to such a high level of food wastage, which is impacting food security, which is impacting sustainability, which is impacting climate change as well. And we are all currently reeling under the impact of climate change. So climate change also indirectly impacts production of food, food security and sustainability. So what can be the possible solutions to this multidimensional complex problem? Low-income countries, generally we can put it that low-income countries, they need to develop a better infrastructure for food storage and cut down on food loss at stages wherever possible. Development of a proper supply chain is very essential in order to ensure a fair distribution. Like people who really require, who don't have the capacity to buy food, they should have access to certain amount of food. Okay, and of course, the big thing is a responsible consumption of food to move towards food security. So, as I was previously also mentioning, that nowadays we live in a consumerist society, and anything new we see, anything new product, or we'll see an offer, the retailer is offering something free on something, we'll go and buy that. We don't calculate that whether at all we need it or that item is perishable and we have to, consume it within a given time. So what happens is once it goes bad, we simply throw it away. So it's difficult to map or create a model, appropriate model to kind of, to reduce this food wastage and increase food security and sustainability. However, responsible consumption at our end consumers, we should act as good global citizens and be enough responsible to consume responsibly, to produce responsibly, so that we can help in the cause of food security, sustainability, and climate change. Thank you all. I wish to thank the chairs and also ISWMAW for giving me this opportunity to present my work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. Our next presenter, please call the next presenter.
Yeah. Thank you, madam, for your wonderful presentation. So our next presenter is Muhammad Arif Hussain. Are you there, sir? Muhammad Arif Hussain. Muhammad Arif Hussain. So I think he is not there. Arif Hussain, are you there?
Hello. Do you hear me?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay,
madam. Muhammad Farzan. Yeah.
Yes. I will present on behalf of all the authors of this paper.
Okay. So I would like to call our next speaker, Muhammad Farzana Arzuthi from Chattogram, Bangladesh, and the topic is environmental impact assessment of Anandabazar landfill site of Chattogram city. Madam, kindly please unmute your microphone, and your presentation time is 12 minutes. Kindly share your screen.
Okay. Thank you, Tuli Chantuli. Can you?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah. Okay, it's visible. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Sorry.
You can make it full screen
Okay.
if possible. Yeah.
Okay, good morning, everybody from Chattogram, Bangladesh. I'm Professor Farzana Rahman Jufri from Chuet. I'm presenting environmental impact assessment of Anandabazar landfill site of Chattogram city on behalf of all the authors, Muhammad Arif Hussain, Riazul Islam, and Nur-E Habib. They have done the main work, but I am presenting the paper. Actually, Chattogram city in Bangladesh is the second largest city, and it is situated in the southeastern part of Bangladesh. And here there is, like all other cities of all around the world, huge amount of solid waste generated in the city. And there is two landfill sites, and the major and the biggest one is Anandabazar landfill site. And the waste generated in the city, most of them, around 1,200 tons per day of the generated waste is being dumped without any segregation, without any treatment is being done to the Anandabajar landfill site. And naturally, due to the untreated waste disposal or dumping of this waste, there is the possibility to affect the environment adversely, and hence an environmental impact assessment has been done in the study. And in this study, along with the adverse impact, some beneficial effects has also been summarized. And hence, in this, the EIA is a very vast area, but we have done few compartment of the environment, few side. We assessed surface water, groundwater, air, and soil quality of the area nearby of the landfill site. And also, we have evaluated effects on the community, not only their lifestyle, also on their health. And finally, some mitigation measures have been recommended. And this is the study area. You see that this is the Chattogram city, and the landfill site is situated nearby the Bay of Bengal, of the most eastern part of the city. And the sampling locations of surface water, groundwater, air, and soil locations are shown in the figure, which the surface water, the available surface water over there, and groundwater, few tubers are being used by the community of the area, and there are few agricultural fields. So surface water, the nearby have been collected from nearby pond, and groundwater also collected from nearby tube oil, and the soil have been collected from nearby the agriculture field. And also air quality, particularly the particulate matter, PM10, have been monitored here. And all the monitoring points were within the 500 meter of the landfill site. And this is the findings. Surface water quality in most of the parameters are within the allowable limit, but till turbidity was very high, and COD and BOD was beyond the allowable limit. And there is chloride is a bit high, but still it is within the range. And the presence of BOD and COD, it indicates that it might come from the disposal or the come on the side due to the surface runoff to the surface water. And here is the groundwater quality. We have found that in groundwater qualities, the condition was more or less same. There is some cases the turbidity was very high, and chloride was also very high. But this chloride presence of chloride might be it is very difficult to indicate that it might come from the landfill side. That it might be due to the coastal area, because just the Bay of Bengal is near of the area. The major problem is the groundwater. That although there's the presence very high amount of manganese content in the groundwater, there is iron and nitrate, which all of them are during the standard limit. The drinking water quality standard for Bangladesh was far above the value. And chromium is, although it was expected that chromium may come from the landfill side, but chromium was not that much high. The main point is nitrate and manganese. And when we found the soil quality, that is also the same situation, manganese and chromium is over there, as there are no other sources over there for manganese and chromium contamination. So it is indicative that it is coming from the leaching of landfill site. And when we are studying the air quality of that area, there is a bypass road. So traffic movement is always there. Sometimes there is some peak period and that some off-peak period. So we divided into two conditions, one normal condition, and it is the off-peak period when traffic was moving. So normal condition, it is showing that PM 2.5 and PM 10, almost all the value are within the range except 2 or 3 points that is beyond the standard for air quality standard of Bangladesh. But when traffic is coming over there or passing from there, the value is very high. Except few points, the value is low but very high. So there is alarming that the normal conditions, in few cases, the value is very high, which might be due to the smoke being produced in the landfill site, and when it is being added with the traffic pollution, that is 229. If we give an example such as 229.5 and 360.8 PM 2.5 and PM 10, it is very alarming in that situation. And besides experimental survey, there was also a social survey have been conducted. And they passed on primary education. So they found that they have given their opinion that depending on their yield of the agricultural products, they don't think that the landfill site has impacted that much on the fertility of the soil. And also same as the agriculture production, although that is most of them, but few people have given their opinion that is high impact. That means that at least 13% people has given their opinion that agriculture production is being highly impacted by the landfill site. And same as the aquatic culture, majority has given their consent and there is no changes in the aquatic production in the area. Although few people has given opinion that yes, they have found that the fisheries is not that much being produced like before. And when we have given
only 2 minutes left.
Okay, thank you. I'm almost finished. When I have given more concern on their health condition, you see that there is almost 60 to 70% people has given their data that they are facing the respiratory diseases besides some other diseases, skin disease, waterborne disease, and nausea. And also there is very nasty odor problem over there, and 82% people have said given their opinion that yes, it is making very odorous in the surrounding area. So if I make a summary regarding the impact, that yes, it is impacted the environment adversely in water quality, air quality, noise pollution, and also in the ecology and fisheries problem, weather as well. But still, there is few beneficial impacts that it has. The people for which the people are not ready to hear that it is adverse to them, because they have been provided employment opportunity And few people they said that due to this site, there is some few activities have been developed. So land value have been increased and socioeconomic status has also been improved. So few people are not ready to hear that this condition is not good for their health or anything else. So in conclusion, I want to say that yes, the solid waste must be will be generated in the city, and it must be deposited or dumped in any places. So before designing or after designing or during the operation period, it should be monitored and where it is or whether it is impacted the environment badly or not. And obviously, raising awareness among people is very important, especially the country like Bangladesh. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Farzana. Very nice presentation. Next speaker. Okay.
Yes, thank you, madam. Nice presentation. Kindly unsure your screen and mute your microphone.
Okay.
So I would like to call upon probably our last speaker, Mr. Mohammad Naimul Bari, Mohammad Safiul Islam, and Sharmin Sultana, and A.N. Bushra from Bangladesh. And the topic is Rural Solid Waste Management Practice and its Governance in Bangladesh. Ms.
Am I audible?
Yeah. You are audible.
Okay.
Kindly
Please.
share your screen, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Share your screen.
The previous screen is also visible. Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The previous screen is also visible here.
Madam, for
Okay.
yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Hmm.
Am I audible, sir?
Audible and visible also. You can
Okay,
you
sir.
can share in full screen. Full screen.
Okay, I'm trying. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Greetings from Rajshahi, Bangladesh, and good morning and afternoon and evening for different locations. This is Shafiul Islam on behalf of my research team, Professor Dr. Niamul Bari and Professor Sharmin Sultana N. Boshra. I'm presenting our paper. Our title is Rural Solid Waste Management Practice and its Governance in Bangladesh. Okay. I'm facing some troubles. Okay. The background of our study is proper management of solid waste management. Solid wastage is a challenge for the local government authority, not only for urban area, even for the rural area, for the gradual increase of population and social activities to meet the increased multifunctional demands. So, proper management exclusively depends on management policy and its governance. Our objectives, the main objectives of our study was to evaluate the peri-urban governance of waste management in Bangladesh. We have some research questions to realize that research objectives. These are: how does solid waste management perform at rural characterized municipalities in Bangladesh? Is there any governance challenges for solid waste management at this level? How can solid waste management be performed properly? This is our research questions. It is our study of qualitative study, and we have followed mixed methods approach. For our study, both sources, primary and secondary sources, are consulted for collecting data. For primary data, we have conducted semi-structured questionnaire survey and KII. For secondary data, we have visited the selected municipalities for secondary data. 3 suburb municipalities, mainly rural characterized, were considered as case for this study. Collected data were analyzed thematically, considering the functional elements of municipal solid waste management system. This is our study area. Rajshahi is one of the largest division in the country. In the division of Rajshahi, we have selected Rajshahi district, and there are 9 upazilas in Rajshahi districts. Among the 9 upazilas, 2 upazila, Godagari upazila and Poba upazila were selected, and from 2 upazilas, we have selected 3 municipalities, which is located at rural areas for our study. Here is some basic or available information of the study areas. The municipalities are established at 2002. All the municipalities are established at 2002, and over the time, 2 municipalities, Kakonhat and Nauhata, was lifted or elevated to class 1 municipalities, and the rest category was remained as the second class municipalities. And there are some basic information such as there are some population, holding residence, holding industrial and commercial places, some educational institutions. There are some hygienic sanitation and hygiene sanitation systems, and there are cattle markets, a regular bazaar or markets, and drainage system. We have collected some secondary sources from the respective municipalities. Findings of the study. After reviewing the government rules, it is revealed that there is lack of specific guidelines or rules of the government in terms of waste management at the local level. We have also found that there is lack of effectiveness of Poro market or Poro Hat Bazaar managing committee in terms of waste management in Bangladesh. And we have found that there is lack of monitoring of the concerned lease providing authority. We have mentioned that the municipality, there is lack of monitoring system to oversee the waste management system at the local level. We have also found that there is lack of accountability of lease taking individuals or organization in terms of solid waste management at this respective area. This is some pictures of waste collection and dumping in the study area. We know that this is the common scenario all over the world in our, we see, and it is also common in our country. This slide shows that how the municipality solid waste management is happening in Bangladesh. There are many sources for solid waste generation: clinical wastes, household wastes, industrial wastes, commercial wastes, and some other areas, waste generation ground for generating the wastes. So I would like to skip that the slide to go for the practice for waste management process in Bangladesh. We see that waste generation from domestic, commercial, industrial, and other sources, it is managed or disposed by self initiatives or illegal dumping on roadsides and or drains. Next, we see that the generated wastage is storage at local level, and it also transport and waste disposal. And in the process of storage, and it is collected from door to door, and it's deposited or dumped at the secondary points. It is mainly initiatives at community level, at the local level, and it is at the municipality levels. It is initiated by the municipal for secondary points, and later it is recycled at the dumping ground, it is happened by informal sector. So after reviewing the primary data so far we have collected from the study area, it is revealed that the authority concerned is very indifferent about soil wastage management at local level. And there is lack of guidelines of rural characterized municipalities about waste management in the country. There is lack of strategies for solid waste management in Bangladesh. There is lack of solid waste management program at rural or local level in the country. And it is also revealed that there is no records of solid waste generated locally at the municipalities. And there is not enough waste collection points or bins where the wastes are deposited. And there is lack of proper dumping treatment measures or dumping stations. We have found that there is some dumping station, but it is not used properly by the authority concerned. They argued that there is shortage of resources such as manpower, vehicles, and financial resources. Due to such resources shortage, they could not perform their activities properly in terms of solid waste management. It is also found that lack of monitoring about solid wastage at the local hard bazaar or cattle markets, the list taking authority could not do properly. So the municipalities, which is the list providing authority, does the solid waste process at the end of a week or at the end of a month. So it is generated some environmental pollutions. There is also lack of proper drainage system. So far, the collection of waste accumulated in the drainage is not happened properly. It is also revealed at the primary level. So it is observed that the total generated solid wastes are not coming to the waste treatment that needs to be managed by the authority. Major portion of the generated wastes from the residents and rural commercial places.
Excuse me, sir, you have only 2 minutes left.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
The commercial places remain uncollected because of improper governance and management. As much as collected, the wastage by the authority is disposed of without any resources, recovery, and treatment to the open dumping site. As a result, surrounding environment is being polluted and the chance of spreading of disease is increasing to the dwellers. What is the way outs? There are some we have recommended here for this solid waste management. The local government authority must have the appropriate policy and ensure good governance regarding rural or municipal solid waste management in the country. The local hard bazaar managing committee should be vibrant at the local level, and monitoring by the government agency or authority concerned should be effective and enhanced. Accountability of list taken individual organizations should be ensured. These are among the recommendations for our study. So if we consider these, we can manage the solid waste management properly, which is very important for our daily life. So this is the end from our side. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Kindly unshare your screen and mute your microphone. So I would like to request our chair and co-chair to kindly conduct the question answer session.
Okay, madam. Okay, very good presentations came across the different countries. And hope most of the presenters are well presented, and also the basic research which they have done regarding to the basal sludge, the first speaker. And the second one is the microplastics and soft plastics. And next one is the Advitech on environmental management consult company. Like that way, and food waste, like the good topics is covered in this session. I'm very happy to all the presenters is giving a clear cut creative work can be done, and at the same time their presentation is also well. Now I am asking the co-host. Host can be giving some conclusions on this session. Sir, tell me some. Yeah. Unmute yourself, sir. Unmute your mic. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the good presentations from the different countries. And all of them have presented their situation in their place and how best the waste can be managed and what are the present situation. And on behalf of ISWMAW, we are happy that young researchers has come up with some ideas and some research findings. And this conference is a platform where they get the opportunity to express their research outcomes, and also the your stakeholders, those who are in the present, they are also getting information about the present situation of waste management in the world. I thank you very much for the organizer for organizing this conference. Thank you. Omaji, please.
Thank you. Okay, madam, is there any queries in the chat box? You can ask some of the questions. Anyone asking?
Okay. No, thank you, sir. There is no such question in the chat box specifically. Thank you. Thank you, Dr.
Sir,
Brahma.
I have a question.
Okay.
Hello,
Please,
excuse
please.
Uh,
Yeah,
if you allow me, I have a question to Mr. Alex. I have made a question directly to Mr. Alex. Is there any health hazard about the oil produced from the oysters? He has shown in the visible slide that sludge oil. Is there any health hazard for such oil, or is there no health hazards?
Come again with the question regarding, are you asking regarding the sludge oil, copy?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The question is there a hit? Are you saying if there is a hit? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Alex, tell me.
Sir,
Yeah.
is there any health hazards from such oil?
The sludge oil are recovered and converted into can be used for conversion of a fuel or a diesel. The recover from the sludge oil is to convert it into a fuel.
Sir, okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, Shafil, I hope you can understand that it is the oily in the slide that may be used for some other purposes. Okay, you maybe refer afterwards. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, Brahmaji.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you have completed or still going on?
No. Completed, sir. Completed. Almost 12 speakers are presented their papers and good presentation.
Yeah, and Dr. Oshitaich, have you completed your
Yeah.
session? And
Yes, completed.
Very good. So I'm very happy because you know that we have number of friends here from Bangladesh. Previously,
Yes,
we
sir.
planned a special session for Bangladesh, but there are some problem for different speakers and our working group members. So that's why we could not hold the full session for Bangladesh. But there are a number of friends who submitted the paper, like Moshiur Rahman. He is very active, but I believe that somehow he could not manage to join. He is one of the senior officers in the government of Bangladesh on waste management. And you know that I visited Bangladesh for a few times and I have seen the waste management in Bangladesh. I visited also the dumping site, the fecal sludge management site, small compost site, and many other places. So what is the specialty of Bangladesh? And for last 2 years, we have been closely associated with Bangladesh waste management and the researchers who are performing this work, because Bangladesh in last 5 years is progressing very well. I mean, I should say very, very well in the areas of waste management and circular economy. So very recently, I supported them through Korea for formation of the legislation on electronic waste, and the whole of the draft guideline for the legislation based on e-waste is mine. And they are really performing very well with respect to the circulation of the waste is concerned. There are a few private organizations also who are working for the benefit of the recirculation of the waste. And that's why we are very much interested that Bangladesh be a very important part of this conference. And I can see the paper from Rajshahi. You know, we have included Rajshahi this year newly because we do not have much of the contact in Rajshahi, but this year some professors took initiative and also the Mushur Rahman for including this Rajshahi and the universities nearby. And and as there were lesser number of papers from Bangladesh, we also included this as the waste management in Asian countries, where I think that there was a presentation from Sri Lanka. Madhushani is there from Sri Lanka who presented this paper, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm Ranasinghe. Can you hear me?
Okay, Ranasinghe, yeah.
Ranasinghe.
Thank you very much. And I believe that ISWMAW is also there from Philippines. Yeah, Alex,
Yeah.
hi. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I request all of you to please make your video open so that our secretariat can take a very good photo of your face in the camera. So please open your camera, and I can see my good friend from Philippines, Professor Figueroa, and I. Busra from which country?
Bangladesh.
Oh, she's from Bangladesh. Yeah, I can see Fuego, Evelyn. Farzana is there. So I request Professor Farzana, because Jyoti Farzana is one of the very dynamic ladies, researcher in Bangladesh. She is from Chittagong. You know, there are number of very popular fishes, which as Bengali we like very much. So I don't know whether Farzana has spoken something or not, but she had a lot of problem in the family. That's why she was not very active this time. And I can see Tushar Kanti, who is also working in Kuwait. Tushar had possibly one paper, and Chaitali Limbaraj is here, and Raquel from Philippines. So I request Farzana Jyoti, please say words. I'd love to hear from you. Please, your microphone is muted.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Shadhan. I have presented the paper on behalf of Mr. Arif. Most probably we did not uh, follow the presentation in this session. So yeah, thank you very much. Yes, I'm facing too many problems in this year, so I cannot communicate with others, contact. But yes, certainly this is a big platform, and for me, an opportunity for me to see many researchers all around the world. Obviously, few cases which I didn't know before regarding Bangladesh.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have seen the very good, and I'm always grateful to you for making me so special here. I'm not that much, but I'd like to be here in future.
Sure, but we know her dynamics. She is very dynamic. Yeah, another very dynamic and young person is there from Bangladesh, Saiful. For Saiful Islam only, it was possible to bring somebody from Rajshahi. So Saiful, I want you to speak something for our next conference, how you can manage to involve more people from your place.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your nice initiatives. It is a wonderful session for our team, research team. I would like to congratulate all of you to visit my country, and I especially thanks to Professor Ghosh for inviting me. And it is very difficult for me to manage the research team to prepare a paper within very short time.
Yeah.
So you have extended your very cooperation and share gratitude to all of, and you done. Organizer, you have done an excellent job. I would like to participate more with my fellows colleagues in the next. Thank you very much for inviting me to present our paper here, sir.
Excellent. Yeah,
Thank
I
you,
can
sir.
see another friend who made me visit to landfill site in Khulna. Our friend, where is he? Tushar. Tushar, say a few words. Tushar Kanti, he is from Kuwait, Khulna University of Engineering and Technology. Tushar, you are muted. Please unmute.
Tushar.
Tushar, your microphone is closed.
Sir, she is
Thank you, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Her paper here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir, for organizing such a huge event, and we are always with you. And there are many conferences held in our country also, and as these are the papers from civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and urban planning fields. So people are submitting papers in many conferences, and also we are very much interested always to submit papers in IconSWM. Hopefully next year we will be very much interested to submit more papers in your event, sir. And
yeah, next year you have to not only submit paper, you have to bring Shaiful, Ruthi, and your friends to India. That is in Tirupati, so that's a very good place. If everything permits, mainly the COVID situation permits, then we will be going for a physical conference in December or November 2022. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. We
I
will try
like,
our best.
yeah, sure. I am really missing my good friend, Professor Alamgir, who is the member in UGC Bangladesh at Dhaka. So due to his preoccupations, he could not manage to come. But we, among the senior people, I can see a very small kid in the camera. So Jyoti, if you can show his, oh, great. Excellent. And looking very beautiful.
She is my
Thank you.
daughter, 3 years old.
Uh-huh.
She
Great,
wanted
great.
to hear your voice. That's
Yeah. Wish him
Thank
best wishes. Ranasinghe, I'm not asking you to speak here because we have a special session on Sri Lanka, mainly the South Asian countries. So that will be on held in 4th December. So we will listen to you there, where Anirudh and others will be there, my friends. And however, I believe that your presentation was very effective.
Yes, sir.
Ranasinghe.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I did presentation yesterday also with my research, my supervisor, Dr. Anuruddha Kannaratne. We are doing a lot of research in the solid waste management and making mainly I focus on the improve the quality of the compost fertilizer in Sri Lanka.
Okay, very good. So
Okay, sir.
you know that there will be a book to be published between India and Sri Lanka, the waste management scenario in Sri Lanka and India, and the comparison for improvement. So you discuss among your friends, and if you are interested, you can contribute.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Figueroa, you have a friend, Alex from Philippines. So I want to hear something from Alex regarding our conference and feedback. And if there are any weakness, please write to us so that it can be improved. Alex?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all. And of course, I'd like to thank also my province mate in the Philippines, Ma'am Evelyn Cahokom. And of course, our other delegates from the Philippines. And I wish that our next convention will be in a face-to-face so that I can come back and go back in New Delhi and attend our next convention in ICOM. I miss those days that when I was there in New Delhi with very good. Yeah, I remember when I attended the ICOM last 2013 or 2014, I think.
Yeah. Your face is very familiar to me.
I was representing Solid Waste Management Association of the Philippines. Yes,
Very good. I have my number of researchers, co-researchers in Philippines, like Linley, Figueroa, Aris, and Naperi, and many others. So whenever you are joining next time this conference, don't forget to bring Professor Figueroa, then Alvin, Evelyn, Linley, all this. Okay. Thank you very much.
In fact, we are also busy here in the Philippines because we are having also our fifth Philippine Solid and Hazardous Waste Management Convention, which is started today until tomorrow. And tomorrow I'll be also one of the presenters.
For the Philippine side. Yeah. And you know that I made a group in Philippines in 2 years back, all my friends who did not know each other. And I made a group of around 25 people who did not know each other, but they're all my friends, and now they are friends together. So we are working together. So this is the way we are expanding. So thank you very much to all of you. The secretariat has written some feedback. So you have to write the feedback for the certificate. The feedback format, Google format, is given in the chat box. You please copy it and submit it. And now over to the Secretariat. Thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, over to Secretariat. Let me see.
Okay, thank you, one and all.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Ghosh. Okay, thanks. This is the end of this session. Our next session will be started from 12:30 p.m. and it will be special session 4 from Philippines. Thank you. Thank you, David. Yeah, all of you are requested to kindly give your valuable feedback in the given link. Thank you.
Okay.